And welcome to the Deuce Podcast. I'm Brad.
And I'm Jeremy.
Jeremy, we're doing episode 142. It is Super Bowl Sunday.
Dun-dun-dun.
Dun-dun-dun. And we decided to do a football sequel. There are not many football sequels.
No, the sports movie sequels are really tough to find because
yes.
it's a term of like an underdog story. So like, I mean, we had trouble with hockey ones. I remember we had Slapshot,
Right, and Goon.
yeah, and Goon 2.
Was there another one? I don't know.
Cutting Edge.
Yes,
We
Cutting
did that with
Cutting
the
Edge.
Olympics. That was the Olympics.
Yeah, that was the Olympics.
I remember we were going to do. There was a movie called Most Valuable Primate, MVP, Most Valuable Primate. That was a hockey playing chimp.
Oh, yeah, you told me this.
And I was like, yes, we're going to do this. We're going to watch the second one because this is perfect for this series of it. And we did, I looked it up, and MVP 2 was most vertical primate. And it was a skateboarding
Oh,
chimp
skateboarding.
now. So that screwed the whole thing up, and so we abandoned ship on that.
You would say screw the pooch on
Yes.
that one. Oh, speaking of pooch, hey, this week's movie, basically it's Disney asking the question, what if we get the assistant director of Battlefield Earth to direct the sequel to a successful sports movie with a golden retriever dog? You get Air Bud 2.
Air Bud 2.
Air Bud 2.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yep. Yeah.
This was directed by the assistant director of Battlefield Earth, Richard Martin. You know I'm a huge Richard Martin fan.
I know you are.
I love his assistant directing. I don't like the directing of Battlefield Earth,
You just
but I like the way that the person got assisted in the directing,
yeah.
Not
when
really.
you weren't quite up to snuff to film Battlefield Earth.
which you weren't quite. Yeah, whatever. We won't talk about Battlefield Earth. We're doing 142. It is our Super Bowl special movie. It is Air Bud 2 or just Air Bud Golden Receiver,
There you go.
right?
Yep.
I don't. Some people call it Air Bud 2.
Yeah.
Some people call it just Air Bud.
Because I mean, there's a bunch of them in the series.
There's tons of them in the series.
Well,
Plus
there's the
Air Buddy
core like
movies.
5, and then it splits off to the
Right.
spin-off movies.
So that's what we found, and we watched it.
Yes, we did.
And I can say that we watched this movie.
yeah, we are so much the richer
And
for it.
yeah, this is interesting. It does star the kid from the first movie,
Yeah.
who played Josh, the main character. So if you are familiar with these movies, which why wouldn't you be?
True.
Oh, did you watch the first one? Have you ever seen
the
any
first
of
one.
these?
Yeah.
You have seen the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I told you it was a different mom, you were like, "Oh," like you were surprised.
Well, I mean, I saw it forever ago.
Oh, it's been a
It was
while.
one of those things that would play like on like a Sunday afternoon,
Back in the
like when
background.
you're not paying attention, kind of thing.
And you don't realize which one it is until you realize what sport he's playing.
Correct.
Oh, this is the
I
fifth
haven't
one. It's
seen any of
hockey.
the other ones except for this.
I think you read me the baseball one, which I laughed at.
Yeah.
What's the baseball title one?
Seventh inning fetch.
I don't know why I find that interesting.
Okay, so
this is our Puppy Bowl Super Bowl episode. You
this
would
is
say.
yes.
Yeah, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Well, so there's the main 5 movies. I think it gets a little confusing because they made it kiddier and kiddier, like
No.
to get an even younger audience.
No.
Because I think that they knew they weren't going to go for the demographic they were
Right.
aiming at anymore.
The super hit of the first movie
Yeah.
wasn't quite there. Yeah.
So Air Bud, of course, was him doing the basketball. Air Bud Golden Receiver was him playing
Right.
football.
Football.
Air Bud World Pup.
Is that soccer?
Soccer, yeah.
Okay.
Air
World
Bud,
Pup.
Air Bud Seventh Inning Fetch. Air Bud Spikes Back.
Volleyball.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he doesn't play hockey.
No.
That'd be
he
kind of
doesn't.
weird.
No, he doesn't play hockey. But I'm glad that you mentioned that because I didn't
Why?
know if you knew. And if we're lucky, our guest will come in here with us. But
We have a guest.
Yeah, our cat Mirage.
Our cat Mirage is going to podcast with us.
Well, yeah, if she decides
Mirage.
if she decides to show up,
No,
because
she ain't gonna show up.
well, you know, she
She's
might.
better than this.
She might. I left some treats out for her.
Nah.
But I don't know if you knew this because it was from before we met.
Okay.
But I saw a real opportunity that was being missed with these movies. Like, I grew up with cats because I lived in an apartment, and so, like, you know, you can't. A lot of apartments didn't allow dogs,
Sure.
or like limited ones allow dogs. When we moved out to Nebraska, we just lived in apartments for a long time, and so, you know, I was around cats more often, and I thought to myself, like, it seems a waste. You know, I know why they do the dogs, and I appreciate it here, but they're missing an opportunity for cats. So, when I got Mirage and realized how talented she truly was, I decided we were going to spin off from the Air Bud movies. And so the Air Bud Golden Receiver, I wrote a script where...
Did you really?
Yeah,
Please tell me.
Wrote a script.
You still have
we
it?
filmed the movie and everything.
No, you didn't.
Where it was... she started out like another team that was getting spanked by Air Bud, or by Buddy. They decided, you know what? We're going to fight fire with fire. And they find a cat who is awesome at football.
What? Just give me the name of the movie.
Well,
Would you?
it was, we called it Mirage, Feline of Scrimmage.
Ah, Jesus Christ.
You know, and I it was, you know, it had some moderate success, and so I started making some others. So we had Mirage 2.
When did you write? Did you write this when we were watching the movie?
No, this is all
No,
real.
you wrote these when we were
Mirage
watching the
2,
movie.
Cheshire Cat,
Ah, Jesus.
where she plays. She goes after a game. She goes to and plays in the chess club, and they realize
Chess
she's
club?
a chess genius.
Yes, she's a cat.
so
chess-
she helps to-
Actually, I would have watched that.
She helps to defeat.
Mm-hmm.
She goes all the way to the championship, and then she helps to defeat a Russian student who's going for the, you know, like for the pride of Russia versus pride of America, and she wins.
Did she get addicted to drugs like in the Queen's Gambit?
Yes.
Okay.
She hits the nip pretty hard in that one. But then I thought, like, well, let's take this back a little bit. Let's go places that these Air Bud movies aren't going. And so
We are
which is
going to
what
talk
we did
about
the
her
chess.
movie soon, right?
Yes, we will.
Okay.
I mean, it's not as good as my series. The cat
Okay.
ones were clearly better.
Yeah.
And we had Mirage 3, where she learns to play hockey. They figure out she runs across the ice, and they realize, oh my god, she's like got her balance. She was slapping the puck with her paw, and she was scoring goals. And so it was Mirage 3 Cat Trick.
That's a bad one. Please, you
Hat trick?
quit while you're ahead.
No, I won't. And then there was, this was the one we got a cease and desist on.
Oh, no, you didn't, because no one was paying attention.
We got a cease and desist because the next one, she was going to be playing roller derby.
She was, huh?
Mirage 4 Cat Whip. And then, but that Elliot Page movie came out.
The Elliot Page movie?
Yeah, about roller derby.
Roller
We got
derby?
a cease and desist because
Sure.
the plots were pretty much identical, but we just didn't have the money to fight the Wilson brothers in court, and so
Drew Barrymore didn't want to...
Drew Barrymore and the Wilson.
Sure.
Yeah, so we just you know, called it good. We had our 3 movies already, but in the works I also had Mirage 5 Game Set Scratch, where she was playing tennis.
Uh-huh.
And so
Are we
it
done
would
with
have been
these yet?
it would have
Are
been the
we-
one that was the
Are
one
we done
people
with
remembered.
these? Are we moving?
Yeah, of course we are. I just wanted to tell you, like, I didn't know if you knew that our cat was a celebrity.
No, she's not a celebrity.
She is. Why do you think she's such a diva when she walks
She
around
is a
here?
diva. When she walks in a room, she's like, look at me.
It's
Meow, bitch.
having gay dads just exacerbated
Yeah,
that.
yeah. We are doing a movie, Air Bud 2, Golden Receiver, right?
Yeah.
No. All right, let me continue before I was rudely interrupted by that little thing there.
What?
With the cat movies. Cynthia Stevenson, she was not the mom in the first movie, but she's the mom in this movie. So we have a different actress playing the mother. You might remember her from Dead Like Me or Hope and Gloria on NBC if you're a deep cut fan like I am. So, but she always plays a bitch. But she's not playing the bitch in this
She
movie.
does. I don't think she. It's like Hope Davis. She doesn't try to.
She doesn't like Hope Davis.
Happens.
I get her confused with Hope Davis sometimes.
Well, okay, so it was a different person the first time, then Cynthia Stevenson, and then there was a third mom on the third one. But then she comes back for like 4 and 5, and in the first 2 Buddies films that spun off. Because that's when we get into like the Buddies movies where it's like the little pups. So like she shows back up and is in there for a couple. But like even the kid, Josh Fram, bows out after, and his buddy Tom, they bow out after the 4th one.
Yeah, I mean, these actresses, actors, they want to do other stuff as well. So the doctor, the vet, is played by Gregory Harrison.
Yep.
He's a Nadus alumni. He was in the Au Pair. We did the Au Pair 2 on our Robin Dunn collection. Go back and listen to that when you can. I did enjoy that episode.
Yeah.
So go back and listen to that. But first, listen to this episode. Nora Dunn is in this movie.
Yes.
She is one of the Russians trying to steal Bud.
Yeah,
for the Russian circus.
It's a weird subplot.
It is
that,
weird
like,
subplot.
They either needed to focus on one thing or the other.
And we will get into that.
Yep.
And Tim Conway and Dick Martin show up at the end of this movie as the sports announcers for the end of the football game.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the movie. That kind of rounds up your cast. But do we have a plot synopsis, Jeremy?
Do we ever? So
Don't give me one
Game,
for
Set,
Cat Scratch
Scratches.
Fever.
Oh. So now back in the 8th grade, Josh discovers he has a great throwing arm and tries out for his school's football team.
Yeah.
It's then soon discovered that his dog Buddy can also make impossible catches.
Mm-hmm.
And the two become an unstoppable force. However, an evil duo of Russian circus managers attempt to kidnap Buddy.
What?
And use him as their main attraction.
Okay.
While the Timberwolves, the football team, make it to the championship. Can Josh save Buddy before the big game?
Josh doesn't even know anything about the Russians.
No, he has no clue any of that happened. Nobody does.
No one does. I think the only person that really does is the doctor towards the
I
end.
don't even think he knows.
And even he doesn't
comes
know.
Close, but like I think he's
He's
just
just,
like,
why is this? Anyway, we'll get to it. All right, this movie opens up with they're at a basketball game.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're enjoying the basketball game. It's him. No. It starts off with Josh and the dog playing basketball.
Yeah.
Regardless, it starts off with basketball.
Yeah.
Because we're giving a nod to the first movie.
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't we?
And Josh is a huge basketball fan, right?
Yeah.
And then they go to there's this big thing with, Buddy showing the shots again of him, knocking the base or the basketball. What sport are we doing? Sports, yay!
Sports.
Basketball into the basket.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah,
Into
and then
the
we go
sports
to
field.
Then they go to a basketball game,
Yes.
and this is all the opening credits, by the way.
Yes. It is.
And so Buddy's out in the car, as what you do with a dog when you watch a 2-hour sporting event
Well, they didn't
live.
know he was there.
Yeah, he was in the car. How did they not know he was there?
But you need to be eyes on the screen, man.
I was trying to think of more cat puns.
So, hey, I spent.
Oh, I'm sorry. I really need to get into the plot
It took
of
me
Golden
2 minutes to
Receiver.
write those between.
Please.
I mean, I wrote them many years ago. So
I just thought he was in the car. I mean, it doesn't really matter if he was in the
so
car or not.
They go inside. His mom tells him, "Hurry, we gotta go."
I guess you're right.
We gotta get to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
game.
yeah.
So
And-
he runs upstairs to change or do whatever. Buddy climbs out a window, walks
Oh
across
yeah,
the roof
because you did make. You were like, "Oh, Buddy's gonna kill himself because he's in this movie."
because he
I do remember that
to go to the
now.
basketball. 'Cause-
Sorry, there's a lot. We just watched this movie
Yeah.
and it's so forgettable.
Yeah, it
this
is.
is really is.
So he jumps through the sunroof, which is open, and goes into the back
That's
of the car
right.
and hides. And then they leave and go to the game, and he manages to open the sunroof and get out of the car and follow. Or I can't even get a bottle of water into a
yeah.
stadium venue, and he just like sneaks his way in with everybody walking past him. But he gets inside. And when he sees them playing basketball, he just is all over wanting to play this with everybody. So.
Yes. So then he's famous now for being
The basketball
the
playing
basketball
dog.
dog. Even though I thought he was in the first movie.
Well, he was, but I think this
Yeah.
was because this was at a national level. They would have seen it then.
Sure. There's not a lot about this, like, background about this movie.
No.
Really, we had a hard time finding any trivia. The one trivia that we did find is that there was 5 dogs that they used in this movie. I think 5 or 6 different dogs.
He's been played by. Well, he's been played by numerous dogs, but
But in this movie, they used 5 dogs.
I thought there was 4.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
Does it
think
really
I have,
matter?
Actually,
I
I
mean-
think I have their names.
Do you really?
Yeah, Rush, Chase, Zach, and Chance.
Really?
Yeah.
Those are all Mickey Mouse, like, club members.
Are they?
Chase.
It's just a bunch of Mickey Mouse kids.
Yeah.
And
From the 90s. Yeah. JT. Mylan.
Rush, Chase, Zach, Chance, Fred, Nueva, and you.
Carrie Russell. Sorry. That's one person, Carrie Russell. Anyway, what are we doing? This movie is just so up in the air confusing. It really is. So there's a lot going on in this movie. Basically, he doesn't want to do football, right? He's a big baseball fan.
Yeah.
But his mom ends up taking the dog for a walk.
Yes.
So his mom ends up taking the dog for a walk. And was she on rollerblades or something?
Yeah, she was on
Roller skates
she
or
was
something?
rollerblading or something.
Right, and she like ends up like, oh, there's a lot of like the one sound effect in this movie is oh, oh. That's all they do in this whole movie. Oh, oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of where they take the like I don't know how they do it. It's like I don't know if it's something with the aperture, but it makes everything like wobble.
Yes.
Like in camera, and so that
Whoa.
was yeah.
And
So
she
it makes it
falls.
look really weird.
And she falls and she gets caught by the Gregory Harrison, the doctor.
Yeah.
And they end up having a love affair very quickly, by the way. Like the next day, like they're inviting him over to like build a fort for their,
Well, that
her
was
daughter.
he says in exposition before that they've had 4 dates.
Look, I wasn't paying attention to this movie. Can you tell I wasn't
Yeah,
paying
I know.
attention to this movie?
You have to watch because they tell the passage of time through games they've played, and so you have to watch the team keeps changing.
No, I'm aware. I'm aware how cinema works.
I know, but you obviously
I'm not
didn't pay
aware
attention
how
with
this works
one.
because I really wasn't paying attention about this movie.
Clearly,
Well, because the movie was forgettable.
it is forgettable.
It's so forgettable. Look, let's just get into it, okay?
What?
There are certain things about this movie. Look, okay. So meanwhile, he's trying out for the football team, right?
Right.
I'll break it down for you.
Yeah.
He tries out for the football team because he notices that his mom is dating the doctor. He doesn't like that because his dad had died.
You're
and he
right,
doesn't
right,
want a surrogate dad, right?
Yeah.
So we got that plot going on. So he joins the football team because the doctor's always over there.
Yes.
And his friend goes, I'm going to try out for the football team. And he's like, gross. Football? I don't like football. I like
Basketball,
basketball. Basketball, where it's at. I got 2 basketballs and a microphone. That's what it says. Right? No, I'm breaking it down for you.
Yes.
And then, the mom and the doctor start dating.
Yes.
He doesn't like that.
There's an awkward bit about speed dial.
There's, yeah, something about speed dial. Meanwhile, there is like these two Russian people. One played by Nora Dunn,
Yes.
who's like doing her best Natasha impression.
Not even. It's not even. She was. It's like she was modeled after Natasha.
Right.
But she was like, I'm gonna throw this for a loop, and do my best Latka from Taxi impression.
And then the other guy,
Doing the thing.
the other guy who's played by the guy who was the cookie guy from Snackwell Cookies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? I'm not making any of it up. That's true. And they're Russian people who see a buddy on TV from the basketball game, and they're like, they train animals for their circus. We must have him.
They came to the United States.
Yes.
To get talented animals.
To
start a circus back in Russia.
Back in Russia.
Yeah.
And so this is your subplot. But none of our main characters know that this subplot's going on.
No.
So technically we have two movies going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay? And so they're losing football team. All of a sudden one day Buddy is getting chased by the Russians in like the ice cream truck or something.
Yeah.
And he ends up running to the football practice.
Yeah.
And, grabs the football and runs. And everyone's like, whoa, boy, that dog really could be a good football
Show
player.
me in the book where it says a dog can't play football. Rule number 4. Like,
okay.
Only humans can play. Like, why? Well, you didn't put in there that dogs couldn't play. Well, yeah, we didn't think we had to say that.
So we already have like an unbelievable, it's an unbelievable thing that it's like a plot from it's like an old school like Disney thing.
Yes.
Right? Like the Herbie goes bananas kind of like plot that's just so ridiculous. But why do we need the Russian thing?
So I have one of two thoughts on that, because they really don't explain how that came to fruition or like what's going on. One of two things. I think either the script was written with just the football playing, them getting better, because that was kind of the Disney like
right. That
you
seems
didn't
like
have the goofy piece of it as much. It was like you did the heart stuff, and you might have some silliness, hijinks in there, but like I think of more to like around that time, I think we had like what is it called? Man of the Year,
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year, yeah. Rookie of the Year, and like there's a couple other movies like that.
I think The Rookie. Oh wait, no, that was Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. No, there was another.
What was the other one?
What was The Rookie? I think.
What was the other one though, where the kid was playing?
Yeah, one of them where he was a player, and the other one where he owned the team.
Where he owned the team.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then like Angels in the Outfield and shit like that around that time.
Our friend Tom Skull was in, like, he was an extra in one of them.
Oh,
the
really?
one where, yeah, because they filmed it in Minnesota.
Nice.
So he was in the stands because they filmed like during a game.
That's cool.
And so I was trying to get on IMDb to put Tom Skull was in that movie, and give it to him as a present for some reason.
Yeah.
And just be all like, and then kind of on one of my other shows, be all like, by the way, I put you on IMDb in this movie.
Yeah.
But I never figured out how to do it.
So I think either they kept it simple, but then some studio execs like, what if we had, who I liked? Boris and Natasha from the Rocky Bullwinkle show.
No.
Put them in there.
But okay, so because this isn't a really good movie, but there's some parts of it.
And the reason I say is because there's no interaction between those two.
Yes.
It feels like they went back in and added it. Mm-hmm. It was either that, or like it was just they were either doing that or they were trying to basically mimic previous things. So like one of the things we see is the Russian guy, the Snackwell guy. He is part of the way in the movie. He's watching a Disney movie. He's watching Gus, which is a movie about a donkey. It's like a failing football team who's owned by Ed Asner. Mm-hmm. And they bring on, they have a donkey for a mascot, and they realize the donkey can kick footballs, can kick 100-yard field goals. So they bring the donkey on to the team, and they start winning. And the premise is he has to like win at least half his games for the season, and if they do, Ed Asner gets to keep his team. The other guy wants to sell it, and so he's trying to get rid of it. It's like Major League with donkeys. And so
Yes, and this is like Major League.
Yes.
Only not.
with football, but
Only nothing like it.
yes. So he's watching Gus, which had Tim Conway in it.
Right.
There's the guy hires two
To
criminals.
be fair, does anything really have Tim Conway in it?
Lots of things
Besides
Tim
Dorf.
Conway. But they hire two criminals to, like, I don't know if to injure the donkey, kidnap the donkey.
Oh, so that's
kill
part of
donkey.
the plot
Yes.
in Gus.
There's two guys, Crankshaft and Spinner,
Okay.
who are played by Tim Conway and Tom Bosley of all people.
Tom Bosley?
Yeah, they play thugs who are gonna like try to take out the donkey.
Father Dowling
Yes, that's them.
and Tim
Yes.
Conway.
He plays Spinner, and Tim Conway plays a character named Crankshaft.
What?
But it's a Disney movie, and so I
Those
think
are
they
also
were,
names of like drugs that are, out on.
that's what they were drug
Crankshaft.
dealers on the side.
I was addicted to
We normally
crankshaft.
car thieves, but no. But I think what they were doing was it's either like they were calling out either the similarity with them, or hey, here's an animal who's doing this, or they were kind of acknowledging that they, it was a more relatable, redo of some of their stuff.
What were those
like,
movies? The like Voltage movies or something? Like that's it'd be like Crankshaft.
Oh,
like
Crank,
yeah, Crank,
Yeah.
but it's like a spin-off called Crankshaft.
where it's just Tim Conway trying to,
Yes.
Yeah.
Tim Conway trying to stop a bomb or something.
or his heart will explode or whatever.
But let me ask you a question. Like,
Yeah.
because honestly, let's be honest, this movie is a 4 out of 10.
Oh yeah, it's
Right?
not.
If anything, it's like maybe a 3.5.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, though,
the highest I would give it, honestly?
If you take the Russian part out of the movie, is it a better movie?
I think so.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think it's a better movie if you take that out. And I think if you focus more on the team and the family
Yeah.
and that aspect of it, I think it's a better film.
Well, there were so much better like lessons in that.
Yes.
So much better. And like the weird thing is like they start to develop like some of the characters. Like they name a bunch of the
They
characters.
really do, and you're
There's
like,
there's
oh.
a character, there's a big kid who keeps hitting his head against the locker like you see
Right.
football players do, and they go, hey, you need this, and they put his helmet on him, and he's like, oh, that's better, thanks. And the kid who hands him the helmet is named Goose,
Yes.
who's like their, I don't know if he's their
Yes.
kicker or what he is. But
Goose is actually someone.
A stuntman.
Rise Williams. He's a stuntman for all the CW shows.
Yeah.
Like Arrow.
Oh, yeah.
And Flash. So he's a big time stuntman. He was in Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah.
Godzilla and War of the
he
World.
basically does a stunt here,
Yeah.
like when all the kids tackle him. Probably
Yeah,
got to start doing
that's
that.
true too. So yeah, no. I agree. Especially the coach. All
Yeah.
of a sudden,
God,
you get this scene from the coach when Josh runs away because he's like, well, I don't want them to, because the doctor proposes to the mom.
Yes.
And he's all like, oh, we got to move and we got to, he's going to be a surrogate dad. I don't want
Yeah.
that. So he runs away. And you get this really sweet moment from the coach played by Robert Costanzo, right?
yeah,
Who was a big character actor.
yeah.
Who was the voice, like the voice actor for Dan DeVito, like a backup actor
Yeah,
for
like
Danny
when they did
DeVito.
Hercules, the animated series,
Yes,
he
and
was
a bunch of
Phil-
other stuff as
Philippides, yeah,
You get this sweet moment where he's at like the train station or something.
yeah,
And he's talking to him and saying, well, don't you like basketball? Yeah, but don't you like football too? So you can like both of them. And you go, oh, ha, so you can open your mind to
yeah.
be inclusive to other things as well. You can do that for people too. And so you get this sweet moment with the coach and you realize, oh, the coach isn't more than just the fat coach eating stuff on
Yeah.
the sideline. And I like to see that development of that character
Yeah.
a little bit more than the stereotype that we had at the beginning of the movie. Because now all of a sudden you get this like wallop of a scene that kind of is like, oh, okay, this is the lesson, which like it's nothing new. That's not a new lesson or new dialogue, but it's nice and refreshing in this movie.
Yes.
That's so full of I fell.
Well,
you know?
and Josh is like, he's playing his heart out, or trying to, for this team, because he overheard the principal saying that the school board has notified her that
Yeah.
if the coach doesn't start winning games, either they'll end the football program because it's costing them money. And of course, he was dead set against that. He goes, no, this is, the kids need this. The kids, need to be able to play football or have sports and do things. They said, okay, well, then the other option is just to fire you at the end of the season if you don't win.
Yeah.
And he was like, so be it, as long as the program's okay, but, we'll do what we do. But his whole thing is, you guys need to come out here and learn, have fun and learn about the sport. Yeah. And, like, he's a big proponent of, kids needing those sports to teach them lessons.
To teach them lessons, not just winning.
Yeah, not just winning, but, like, losing with grace.
The winning is fine,
like
but...
And so...
And you should take the wins and the losses.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another reason why I'm, like, really weird about these movies is I'm like, why doesn't someone go... Like you said, why is there a dog on the field? Why is there a dog on the court?
Yeah.
Because what did I say to you? I go, yeah, I mean, there's a dog now on the team, but isn't the team playing for the school? And so you're telling me, like, the dog's not part of the school.
Yeah, right.
Like, he's not going to class. Like, that would be ridiculous, but I would love that a little bit more than... Like, if you're going to be goofy with the Russian thing, just make the dog go back to school.
Right.
Like, have him go, you can't have them, because he's got to be a student.
Yeah.
And so then he takes, like... geometry. He's the cute little dogs that got glasses.
And he walks around with a sweater.
Yes, with a sweater. Give me that.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? I'd be fine with that. But instead we got this Russian thing.
Yeah.
Where they... So they finally kidnap the dog. And there's the monkey there. The monkey lets out Buddy, and all chaos breaks loose in their hideout, which has a big, like, tanker that says... What's the tanker say? Like...
Fish guts.
Fish guts.
Well,
like, huge fish guts. So this is what I imagine. Like, imagine them, like, with a realtor going, this would be a great hangout. Wow. Oh, what's that? A tanker that says fish guts?
Has it been cleaned?
Has it been cleaned?
I know.
Oh, I don't know. Well, this would be awesome. But then later on, they're like, fish guts? It's huge.
Yeah.
It's bigger than the whole room.
Well,
you tell me you don't know or smell that?
Yeah, they have a warehouse.
Come on.
All these animals.
The warehouse is crazy.
Well, and it's... So, they free Buddy, and Buddy basically leaves the scene. And then we get this prolonged scene of, like, the monkey sword fighting Nora Dunn. Which... which I never thought you'd say that. You did.
A monkey sword fighting Nora Dunn.
I woke up this morning went, monkey sword fighting Nora Dunn.
Yes.
Knew it was coming.
You knew it was coming.
Yeah.
But
like,
that picture will be in my head
there's
forever.
sword fighting, there's driving, whatever, but like the monkey is really driving these scenes.
Yes, that's why I'm like, why doesn't the monkey get more than...
And the monkey skateboarded at the beginning.
Also, like, spin off the monkey for all I care.
Well, that's what I was looking up. I went, holy shit, is this the same monkey from the MVP stuff?
Well, I was like, is that Dunstan? And you're like, no, that wasn't a monkey.
An orangutan.
That was an orangutan. And I was
don't
like,
be
oh
ridiculous.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Don't be ridiculous.
Don't be ridiculous. Jason Alexander would get mad at you.
No, but I was like, oh my god, is this the same thing? Like the same skateboarding monkey?
Mm-hmm.
And weirdly enough, it doesn't tell you on IMDb if they are the same chimpanzee performers. But I'm going to pretend they are.
Yes.
I feel like they should be.
Yes. Can we say, like our favorite little cameo was the little kid that was there for some reason?
Weird. Okay,
Who was taking the stats. I don't know. Is this the coach's son? He looks like a smaller version of Jonathan Lipnicki, if that's possible.
Yes. Well, okay,
A
so...
human dog's head weighs 2 pounds.
An adult dog's head weighs 6 pounds. I have one right here.
I killed it.
Well, I was looking, and the kid is actually...
But, yeah.
So I was like, God, that kid looks like... There's a character on the X-Files.
Mm-hmm.
It's... Gibson Praise is the character's name.
Yes.
He was like a kid who was infused
Psychic
with
kid?
alien DNA and
Yes.
psychic or whatever. I was like, God, that looks like that Gibson Praise character. And I looked it up, and it's the same kid.
It's
I was
crazy.
like, holy shit! Like that kid was small. Like
That kid was talented.
Yeah.
No lines at all
yeah,
in
right.
the movie.
But he did a lot with his facial expressions.
Yeah,
too.
he did.
But I did find out he's still. So apparently he is a Dominion. I don't know if he's a little person or if he's just
Right.
smaller in stature. But he plays like small characters a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and he was in Once Upon a Time on ABC. He was one of the seven dwarves in that. So.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. Like, I recognized his picture now when I saw him. And so it was weird to me that, like, I've seen him since then, but didn't even think about it. I didn't recognize him until I saw this thing.
So I think I want to talk about the Tim Conway, Dick Martin at the end of the film.
Yeah.
Just the fact that they got Tim Conway and Dick Martin, two comic legends, you
Yes.
would say, right? I mean, they are.
Yeah.
In their right minds. I don't know why Tim Conway and Dick Martin are together because they're not really doing a lot. I feel like, and Tim Conway is like playing the straight man in this.
Yes.
And I thought, what the
Isn't that-
fuck is
Isn't that so weird?
It's so weird. And it's not funny. And
No.
I'm like expecting like a best in show kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where they're kind of having fun with it.
Yes.
You know, and just being goofy. And Dick Martin plays a character, like an announcer that just says the obvious. Like that's his gimmick.
Yeah.
Well, I think the winner is the person with the most points. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they wrote those lines for them or if they're improvising, but it ain't good.
No. It's
And they're not using them correctly. And also they put them at the head of the cast thing. It was like
Yeah, they were
starring
like- they
Tim
were like first
Conway.
build.
And I'm like, in the whole movie, I'm like, when's Tim Conway going to show up?
Well, I keep
Or is he
wondering,
the dog? Like, I was like, what?
Just suddenly he starts talking in Tim Conway's
Yeah.
voice. No, I kept wondering if they were trying to, since they had already made reference to Gus and Tim
Yeah, I
Conway's
mean,
in
that
that,
makes
if they were
sense.
trying to like, I thought maybe they were trying to get Tim
Yeah.
Conway and Tom Bosley maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and like Tom Bosley bowed out.
He was too busy shooting Murder, She Wrote episodes.
Right. Well, Tim Conway and Dick Martin are friends, so
Oh.
or they were friends.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure they were.
I'm sure he just brought him along, but like it made me wonder
Yeah.
if that's
Should I
what
bring
happened.
Dick Martin along? Do you think he was like with the director?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Well, he just follows me everywhere just in case. But no, it was weird. Although Tim Conway did have a couple parts where he was like,
Yeah,
like kind of like he reacted well, but like
But for a man that like improvs, that knows how to like really get a giggle and a laugh out of someone, I'm just like, why did we cast Tim Conway? Why wasn't he the color commentator?
yeah,
Like, it didn't make. He wasn't. He shouldn't be the play-by-play.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe he was just concerned about the integrity of the. Like he was just like, no, I'm doing this part.
he
I'm
was
doing
the
it
only
right."
one that was concerned about the integrity of this movie. You know, and maybe he was. Maybe he was like, you know what? This is my chance. This is my chance to show them that I'm serious about golden retrievers,
You think he
playing football.
plays a murderer on CSI?
Oh, that's true.
Fun
yeah.
episode.
Yeah. There is a scene that I want to talk about during the last football game where Buddy actually gets tackled. Because the whole time you're like, is someone going to tackle this dog? And the dog gets tackled by the opposing member, of course.
Yeah.
And I turn to you and go, this is the reason why they probably had 5 different dogs in this movie. Is because they probably were like getting hurt.
You just keep killing dogs.
Keep
just
killing
tackling
dogs in
them.
this movie.
Get us a fresh one.
Yeah.
Zach, you're up.
Bring back Sparky. He's the next one. We need him.
Oop, there went Chase.
I
Bring
just thought
Zach
that was
out.
so like I thought that was so odd.
Yeah.
Like, and then imagine also being you're the kid that knocked out Airbud.
That has to keep killing
That
Airbud.
has to keep killing.
Do it
Airbud.
again.
Do it again.
I'm sorry, the lens cap was on. Can you do it one more time?
I guess.
Sorry.
Sorry. That's just me, though. Anything
Quit your
else
crying, Joshua Jackson.
just-
Kill some more dogs.
like generic Joshua Jackson. And another thing, like it's supposed to be like like we assume they're playing American football,
Yeah.
which is a little different with because Canadian football. I think it's like 120 yards. I think
Oh, I thought it was shorter.
Or
I thought it was
shorter.
like 80 yards.
80 yards or something like that. I can't
Yeah.
remember. I don't know if it's longer or shorter, but I think it's shorter.
Yeah.
It's there, but there's something different with
Yeah.
Canadian football.
It's shorter and they have less people on the field, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, right. And they have less craft services
Yeah.
during this one.
And 200% more Rocket Ismail.
I never thought we'd have that reference in the 142 episodes that we've done.
Yeah. We've only
you-
mentioned him at like
you
maybe
gotta-
out of 30 something of those.
You probably mentioned it before on something.
I'm sure I have. I'm sure every time
Sure,
something comes
'cause
up with either
you
football or
really like to
Canada,
go for those jokes.
Rocket Ismail.
Yes, but like it's obviously this is shot in Canada
Yeah.
because the kids in are we got to get to football practice, eh?
I'm sorry about that.
I'm sorry I killed Buddy Airbud.
Oh, I killed me another
Oh
one.
no, I killed
the
another
Mounties
dog.
are really going to be after me now.
But it's also like, why didn't they publicly shame that kid at that football game? You almost killed a dog. Like you really
For the love of the game, he
the love of the
did.
game. Like there was moments where like people like they were trying to chase the dog. They're like, "Ooh, I almost got you,"
Yeah.
kind of thing. Ooh, but I'm like, but they never physically did it.
Yeah.
Then I was waiting, and then they did it, and I went, "Oh shit, this movie went there."
Yeah, I was like, ooh. And it wasn't just a
No.
tackle. It was like he lands on
Yeah.
him and they both go rolling. And it literally looks like he flattens the dog.
He does.
It is so creepy.
He does. Is there anything else you want to talk about this movie?
I think we've covered like the...
Yeah, the basis of it.
Yeah, I mean... There's the movie has some heart, but like it seems
movie
like
does have some
you
heart,
couldn't tell
too.
if they wanted to make it like a goofy like that or catch that cat or that
Right.
darn cat kind of movie, or if they wanted to make
Right.
it more like something, with a message.
Yeah, you're right. It was like it just felt like that Russian thing was just tacked on.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah. I think we should do our 5 questions.
I think so too. Well, first question: what do you think is the best part of the movie?
There are this movie pass. No. I enjoyed Robert Costanza. I think he's the best part of this movie. A close second is actually the cinematography is actually decent in this movie.
Yeah,
I thought, oh, that's pretty to look at.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? They're in British Columbia. So I'm like, oh, that's pretty to look at. And I
Yeah.
enjoyed a couple of the scenes in the water. But the scene that really gets me is the scene at the train station with the football coach.
yes,
And I wanted more of that. Mm-hmm. Like, he's missing his father. The doctor himself, even though he'll eventually be like the surrogate father, he still needs that. And so that's where, that character,
yeah.
comes into. I don't know. What's your favorite part?
Well, and I liked where the doctor, like towards the end,
I'm not, the doctor, again, it's Gregory Harrison. He's
Well-
playing a good, he's fine too.
Yeah, well, I like at the end where like the kid, Josh, it finally learns and he's like, realizes this guy's looking out for him too, and he's like, "Don't go," and like hugs him. And I was like, "Oh, that's a sweet moment," like, and it's good. And you see, like, he reacts really well. He like pats Josh on the back, and you can tell he's like, "Oh my gosh, this is that moment." But there was, I would maybe like put that up there, but he had these really flaws with like there was a scene where the kid took his pictures out of his like book and thought they were like women from
Yes.
wherever, that his friend told
Forgot
him
about
he's
that,
probably got a woman in every port because the kids talk like that for whatever reason. But he goes, "This is this person and this is this and this and this," and it's like his family.
But he sounded
But it was
sinister.
very threatening. It was almost like a, like, what are you going to do? Tell on me kind of thing. And then later he's talking to the mother about Josh, and it sounds like he's encouraging her to be like, get rid of him. It was just the weirdest sounding thing, and it wasn't like if you just read the words, it wouldn't be like that. But he reads it in a very strangely menacing way, and so I was really confused about the character a lot. Which, so he might have been up there, but he didn't quite hit it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Robert Costanzo.
Yeah,
as this too. Like, just his moments. I think it's underappreciated. I think it's almost like, again, when they were doing the Goofy stuff, they were like, always put a piece of food in his hand.
Yeah.
Like he's constantly making him eat. It
just was stupid.
And Robert Costanzo's like, nah, like, I'm going to play my heart out of this. Yeah, I'll eat whatever the fuck you're giving me, but I'm
not going to eat it goofy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to have like a turkey leg in my mouth.
Nothing like that.
Yeah.
He not only like the interactions with Josh, which that train scene is got to be the best scene in the movie to me.
Yeah, it is. It's the best
scene. It's got the most
movie.
Heart and the most like.
It's nothing new, but it
still also was. It was like
in this movie. It's the best part.
It was also a good message, like, because some of those things were kind of adults thought they were telling good stories, like explaining things well to kids from like broken homes or like different families where this a split family. I think a lot of times you had adults who wrote these things where they thought they were helping kids, and in fact they weren't. Like, it was kind of half-assed. It was generic stuff. Like, he actually does a really good job, I think, or whoever wrote that scene did a good job of explaining it more. And Robert Costanzo really brings it to life with how he portrayed it.
Yes.
And so I think he did an incredible job throughout this whole movie. Like, I never once think, despite them constantly giving him food and like he had a trophy that was filled with M&Ms. Despite that, I never thought that he was like some stupid fat slob.
No.
I knew that he was a guy who
was tough but fair,
who cared for his kids, who loved those kids and loved the game, and I knew that he had principles because he was willing to step aside if it was going to be all about him just winning. Like, he portrayed this very well. He never once, despite their best efforts, succumbed to like whatever stereotype they were trying to wedge him into. And so I really think Robert Costanzo,
right?
Like, I looked forward to when he was in a scene, and when he had like interaction with Josh.
Because I tell you what, because Cynthia Stevenson is a good actress, right? They really didn't give her a lot.
No,
but if you put her in that scene instead, giving that same speech, it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
Like, it doesn't work with anyone else. No. But it works with this coach. So in that moment, that character actually becomes the most fleshed out character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just in that scene alone.
Yeah.
And everyone else kind of is.
She,
dumb blow. She
think that,
does her job, but they don't really use her.
I think, honestly, like, Cynthia Stevenson, I think, suffers sometimes from RBF. Like, she gets kind of pigeonholed because of that. And, like, I look at things like the show Dead Like Me, and she did a great job in Dead Like Me.
She played a bitch.
Unfortunately, like, the people who were writing the character, like, they're always just like, then you just randomly get bitchy, like, part of the way through. Like, she would just like start attacking people for no reason, or hurting her kids for no reason, and it was just like, she unfortunately gets these roles where it seems like, like they kind of pigeonhole her into some things. Honestly, I think this was my favorite thing I've ever seen her in, because she has these good moments, but like,
it's interesting.
But like, I think she has good moments. She, like, when she was more upbeat in this movie, more positive, and she, I think, had more like, the scene right before the coach in the train station, she's like looking for her son, and I thought it was pretty good. But again, it doesn't come close to Robert Costanzo in this one.
So you don't like her performance in Jennifer's Body, but you like her in this movie.
I've only seen Jennifer's Body once. And I don't even remember her being in that.
Or Mrs. Banks in Agent Cody Banks.
I've only seen that once.
I'm lucky I pulled up IMDb. I'm just telling you. All right, question 2.
Do you think this movie stands on its own?
Yes and no.
Yeah,
That's a really interesting question for this
It
movie.
is a really interesting question.
Because it's like they don't really have to do a lot of exposition. The only thing I'm really questioning is like she's a widow, so her dad. Like, cause I don't, not knowing the first movie, I don't think the father was in the first movie. Was he?
I don't think so either.
And you don't think so? Okay, so that explains that. I mean, because they're playing basketball. He's saying he likes basketball. Really, this movie is kind of like, and I hate to say it, like our previous movie, Scream, where there gives enough exposition because it's really not a lot going on anyway. Because the plot's kind of thin anyway for Air Bud.
Yeah.
That I think it does stand out. So
Yeah,
like you can watch this and go, okay, this is the second of the series. He's gonna play he's playing football.
Yeah.
And he played basketball.
Right.
That's it.
This
That's all I
reminds
really
me
need
of
to know.
this reminds me of one of those movies where it is like American Psycho 2 where it's just tenuously connected. And the reason I say that is because like if you cut off the part with basketball at the beginning, he discovers that Buddy can play football. Mm-hmm. Like it could have just been that. Mm-hmm. And like if the first movie never happened, you might wonder like what happened to the dad. We kind of get the picture.
I think it's because it was such a hit that people know him as the basketball dog.
Yes.
That they needed to have that in there.
Yes.
To begin with,
right.
For fan service.
Yeah.
I would say, but yeah.
But I think like if you would have cut that part off there, the movie
you still
would have been,
have a movie.
Yeah, the
that
movie
you
would have
understand.
stood fine, and you wouldn't even cared about the basketball part. It could have been its own thing, just about football.
Mm-hmm.
But which is my beef. Like when I made the movie for Mirage.
Oh
like,
God, here we go. Yeah.
No, I'm very disappointed she didn't come up despite all of our invites.
Wasn't she a monk too?
Was she?
I swear she was.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, like I think it could, but like obviously there's some exposition, but I think for the most part it probably could stand on its own. Like you don't need to understand what happened in the first one. Just know that he plays basketball, which they explain by the basketball game. Does this make you want to watch the first movie?
Oh no.
Yeah, agreed.
No. It could have, but I'm honestly the whole Russian thing throws you for it because it's like there's like why have it in there?
Yeah,
it's not going to be brought up in the second movie. Hopefully not.
Yeah,
it wasn't in the first movie. Why just tack it onto this movie?
Yeah,
I feel like they were like, you know what? You just gave us like an hour movie.
Yeah,
we need a little bit more. So no, I don't want to watch the first movie, and not because I want like the Russian people to be in the first movie. It's because these are movies that you've seen it once. It's just Air Bud plays ping pong. Air Bud plays badminton. Air Bud plays It's it doesn't matter. Whatever sport it is, the dog plays it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yes.
You don't really need to watch it. What about you? Do you want to watch the first one? After watching this one?
No. I really don't want anything to do with these or the spinoffs.
No, not
I didn't
really.
want to watch the spinoffs anyway.
No. Having said that, like it's a family movie. Like if you want to watch this as a family, you're going to get a lesson from it, right?
Yeah. I think like, and especially like I think that some of the messaging like about the non-traditional family part of it, I think is good.
Like I don't want to totally dog it, yeah.
Right, especially for either
pun intended.
Kids coming from a non-traditional family or, somebody who's got a friend from a non-traditional family and doesn't quite understand it or whatever. Like, I think you can pick up some good messages from this, surely. So I think maybe like it would be not just fun to watch it or it might be fun to watch it with like a family with kids and stuff. But like, just if you were like, well, what's a good football movie? The Longest Yard, or or
The Replacements,
or The Replacements, or Air Bud, Golden Receiver.
But it's also like, as an adult, I did not find this entertaining.
No,
do you know what I mean? There's nothing for the adults to kind of like In and Out or Inside Out. Sorry, Inside Out. There was like stuff for the adults.
Yes.
Just in general, like how Disney does that. There's nothing really for the adults.
Yeah.
For this movie to kind of like laugh at or giggle at.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be entertained. But you can show this to a family, like have a family movie night and be like, okay, watch the first couple of Air Bud movies. Fine, whatever. They're cute, adorable, whatever.
Yeah.
They're kid movies.
Yeah. I completely agree. Reboot, continue, or cancel.
I'm done.
Yeah. Just cancel them.
Done.
Even all the Buddies series.
Done.
You know, in the first two Buddies, the Buddies.
Do you know what I
spin-off
used to
movies-
get this confused with? The Air Up There. I don't know why I did.
What?
But yes, I used to be like, is Air Bud the Air Up There? And then I realized, no, the Air Up There is Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Like teaching. I don't know why I thought that. For the longest time I did.
Weird.
I don't know why. I think it was the basketball thing
Yeah.
and the air thing.
I always got this confused with Beethoven. By the way,
Well, like, why would you get it confused with a composer?
in the Buddies film series,
I get it confused with
the
Tchaikovsky.
dog Buddy is voiced by Tom Everett Scott in the first two.
Jesus.
Because they start talking.
Did he turn into a werewolf or a dog? Which one does he turn into?
Yes. Were-dog.
I get
Their
confused
dog.
with Tchaikovsky.
After the Air Bud series, when it becomes even kiddier with Air
has to be.
Buddies, they have Air Buddies, Snow Buddies, all of those.
So, like, when
the
does
dogs start talking.
what's his bucket from Jerry Maguire show up? Is it the Air Buddy movies?
Which one?
You know, when we're talking about, Show Me the Money. Why can't Cuba Gooding Jr.?
That's Snow Dogs.
The Snow Dogs? Oh my God, I'm confused.
Oh my god! It's Snow Dogs, not Snow Buddies. It's a whole different kind of dog. Even
Actually, Snow Buddies is a different movie too altogether. I saw that once.
Yeah.
That's something completely different. Sorry.
so is Golden Receiver. Now I'm just looking for all the names. World Pup, check.
Well, check on that one.
Seventh
Pups.
Inning Fetch,
Yeah,
Check.
sort of.
Spikes Back.
Yes. Anyway.
Check.
Check.
All right.
Check.
Good. All
Check.
doing fine.
Just Air Bud itself.
Check.
Check.
Airbud. Check. Oh my god. Yeah, you know what? Like I'm sure that the Buddies series, like there's a bunch of them. I think coming out, I think they don't know if they started doing it after 2013. I think that might have been the last one with Super Buddies, perhaps. But I don't think
Wait,
there needs
isn't
to be
that
a
Super
revival.
Babies that you were talking about?
There was a Super
I'm so
Babies.
confused about everything.
Yeah, there was a Super Babies.
No,
There-
I know
it was
that.
Baby Geniuses was the first one where it was like talking babies.
Why
and
are we even
geniuses,
talking about this?
Which I saw in
Crazy.
theaters.
You would see that.
Yeah,
in
my
theaters.
mother dragged me to that, and I was like,
Sure, your mother did.
it was like, this is the worst experience. Oh, you know my mom. You know
Yeah,
she would drag
actually,
me to
she
that
would.
shit.
Yeah.
My parents make terrible movie decisions.
Right?
My dad would drag
They
me
made
to
us
stuff
watch
and-
Olympus Down, okay? Like, right?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Jesus.
Oh, God. Olympus has fallen.
Or whatever it was.
Yeah.
White House Down or whatever the fuck that
yeah,
movie.
one of those.
Jesus.
But they stopped making them after 2013. I don't think they need to make any more or try to revive them or do any of that stuff. Like,
No.
just bury it in
No.
the yard like a bone.
Stick with, like, the Mighty Ducks, like, because you're rebooting that. That's
Yeah.
going to be a show on Disney Plus. This
Or-
wasn't even on Disney Plus. Like, we had to rent this.
Yeah,
Like, you couldn't even find this
Oh,
on
yeah,
Disney
yeah.
Plus. So I'm like,
which
so-
is unfortunate. Like, if it's
I
in your
think it's
catalog,
unfortunate
put it
for
on there.
families.
Like, why not?
yeah.
So, no, I think it just needs to go away.
What's our next question?
Sum up your experience in 2 words.
Time out.
Time out.
Yeah, like when a team takes a
Oh,
time out.
Yeah, I gotcha.
We needed to cut this.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's stuff in this movie that the Russian part you need to cut, and you need to expand on other things as well. And then after this, make no other buddy movies or bud movies.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be doing anything else. But I guess these were popular. But my 2 words are time out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say Play Dead. Like, it is. I think you start getting to this point where, like, the movie is very, like, it seems like people were making like a studio stock film kind of thing. There was nothing really much. I mean, outside of like a few people who you can tell are like really, hustling with the movie, trying to make it something. I think there was a lot of people too who were just phoning it in, and I think it only makes. I wouldn't have thought it was as phoned in, but like Nora Dunn, I think she's playing this character, but it seems really like she's just like, this is. I don't want to say she thought it was beneath her, but like she could do better.
I felt like she was doing it for like as a favor.
Yeah, it just seemed like her character was so, like, if she wasn't doing the character like that, if she just did a normal voice, I'd have been all about it because it would have seemed normal.
It was also like that character's supposed to be over the top.
Yes.
And she is over the top, but she's not over the top. Does that make sense? Like, you could really go far.
Yes.
Like, and chew up scenery to the point where I'm like,
if you
that's okay. You're going
just
big.
Done her voice.
Yeah.
As, like, it could have been Russian still.
Right.
But just talking your normal register instead of talking up like this all the time.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It was like, ugh. Yeah, it was it was a little painful.
Yeah, meanwhile, Jan Hooks is like, why couldn't I have done this?
Yeah, right. She was filming the Coneheads. But yeah, I think it was just like there was so much that seems like, and I'm sure there was people who were trying their best with some of it.
I
too.
believe
like,
so. Yeah.
There were. Like, I don't think anybody didn't give craps about it, but it wasn't the best work from like people like Nora Dunn, Dick Martin, and Tim Conway.
Yeah.
It felt phoned in, and by the time they showed up, because they hadn't been in it, by the time they showed up and they started doing their thing, and I realized it was phoned in, it just irritated me more.
It felt like an eyesore, right? It felt like you hit a speed bump.
A little bit because it was like,
yeah,
it was just disjointed.
You were driving and you hit a speed bump.
Yeah,
and you didn't know it was there,
yeah.
And you're like, oh god, yeah, I forgot that Tim Conway and Dick Martin were supposed to be in this movie.
And it's not to say that, like, again, the people who were in this, I'm sure they were doing what they could. Mm-hmm. But,
you're in the movie.
There's a lot of problem directing and script and things like that really put a hamper on that. So, like, I appreciate the work, the people who came and tried to really give their all for this. I really appreciate that. But people who phoned it in or half-assed their way through it, whether it's a performance or whether it's a writer or whatever, like, they really did a disservice to this.
Those dogs deserve better.
Yeah.
That played Air Bud. I don't know. I'm just joking. So I think you've been deuced on that one, right, Jeremy?
Yes.
So you've been deuced with Air Bud 2. So it is Super Bowl Sunday. That's your Super Bowl or Puppy Bowl episode.
Yes.
So where can people find us, Jeremy?
People can find us at thedeucepodcast.podbean.com, or you can find us at Google Play, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, like any of those podcatchers, really, for the most part. Stitcher. You can also find us on our Facebook page. Make sure you ask to join. A lot of people post there, including other podcasts who are friends of the show. We also have our Twitter at Deuce Podcast. So, follow us there. We, again, retweet people in our podcast network and other friends. In addition to, you can also find us at nophonynetwork.com, which is our the No Phony Podcast Network home, which is the podcasting group that we are in. All sorts of different shows on there, ranging from sketch comedy to dramatic podcasts, like audio plays. You have things just with people talking. There are shows, just talking about literature or talking about 80s pop culture, talking about sports. Really, there's all sorts of stuff on there. So make sure that you go and check it out. NoPhonyNetwork.com.
Everything under the bus. You'll find it there.
Yeah.
At NoPhonyNetwork. Is it NoPhonyNetwork.com?
NoPhonyNetwork.com.
Network.com.
Yes.
So until next time, we're going to be doing some movie. We're going to be Hal Holbrook died, so I think we're going to be doing a Hal Holbrook movie.
So
He died
you
a
seem so
couple-
excited about.
I'm not excited about it, but I'm just saying, like, there's been a lot of people, a lot of good people,
Yeah.
who have passed away, and we were trying to find some sequels just to honor them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we think about doing some of that. So we'll look forward to that the rest of the month. But until then, wear a damn mask, would you? And remember, folks, the sequel is king.
When I was alone and frightened, I always felt like no one was there. It seemed hopeless to dream that someone would ever hold me again. I knew when I close my eyes, all I see is the magic of your smile.